Hi, everybody. Thank you for logging on to the Joplin Globe's website. This is our weekly sports talk segment called Take 10. My name is Bruce Vonder Haar, and today we are going to talk a little Joplin High School boys basketball. And here to do that with me is Joplin head boys basketball coach Tim Spiers. And Coach, for the next 10 minutes or so, we're going to talk about your ball club here on the Joplin Globe website. And first of all, off to a 5-5 record. The good thing is you won 3 in a row, playing well right now. First, let's go back a little bit and talk about the Kaminsky Classic. It was a tournament you guys do every year at Missouri Southern, and just some outstanding talent at that. We've got usually 4 local teams and then 4 teams from out of the area. The talent was good again this year. Talk about the tournament a little bit.
We're really proud of our tournament. It's named after a great man who's had a great record here and was very instrumental in our tradition for our basketball program. And we feel like we bring in a good group of teams. We bring in 2 teams out of St. Louis. One of them was Webster Groves, who's the defending Class 5 state champion.
Yeah.
And we bring in Francis Howell, who came down ranked in the St. Louis area. Then we bring in 2 teams out of Kansas City, Blue Springs, which has a great tradition and has been to the championship game in the last 5 or 6 years. And then we brought in William Christman, who has 2 kids actually who have already signed to go to Illinois State. Then our local teams, Webb City, ourselves, Carl Junction, and Neosho all play also. So we feel like it's a really good tournament. It's real competitive. It has a nice mix of outside schools and schools from our area.
And Webster Groves, the team that you're talking about, they won it last year. They won it again this year against William Christman. So a chance for everybody. And those are 2 good teams. And William Christman plays a style where they sub 5 in at a time and just run up and down the floor. You mentioned the 2 Division I players against Webster Groves team, who pretty solid basketball team and a good championship game there.
Webster Groves got a lot of athletes. They've won it actually 4 years in a row. And they always come down with good athletes, big kids. They have a lot of kids that move on and play basketball and football in college. And then William Christman had the 2 D1 kids, and they do play a different style. It's run and gun at its finest. I mean, they don't take the ball, they don't have it in their end of the floor more than 4 or 5 seconds, and the shot goes up. So, it was a great championship game. I thought all the games were real competitive. Obviously, I think we would like to have done better in the tournament. Yeah. We got off to a bad start, and then we played better at the end of it. But anytime you go into that kind of a talent pool, you've got to be ready to go, and you've got to play well all 3 games, or you're not going to win all 3.
Yeah, you lost to Francis Howell the first game, and then Webb City the second time already you've played them this year, and both games have been really competitive, really close, back and forth, great games. And then the last game you beat Neosho. So your performance, you said you would have liked to have done better. 2 of the games, Webb City was a really good game, and then got the overtime win against Neosho. So
sure, we thought we had a good chance against Francis Howell, and we just didn't come out and didn't play very well. And then we had a rematch with Webb City, and we'd lost by 5 earlier in the year, and we actually had a lead at halftime and came out second half, and they made a run, and it was back and forth. And both games have been very competitive, and we didn't play each other for several years, and now here we've already played twice right after a little bit after Christmas, but. Unfortunately, we've lost close games both times, and it's just one of those things where when it came down at the end, they had a couple-point lead on us, and we had to foul them, and we would have preferred it be the other way around. But we came out of that game, a little bit disappointed. But we met Neosho the next morning, and Neosho and us put together a game of, it was pretty tight, and they played well, and we did. And we got the last shot at the end of overtime, and Derek Stokes made a 3-pointer at the buzzer off an assist from Matt McCrary, and we got a win, and it's kind of propelled us into playing well since.
And let's talk about playing well, because since then, including that game, you've won 3 games in a row. You won that game, then you had a home game against McDonald County, won that, and then a real impressive win this week going to Lebanon, opening the Ozark Conference against a team that's 8-4 on the season, and you were able to win that game 71-63. Talk about that win. That's such a big win to open up the conference on the road for you guys. Great win to start the conference season.
Yeah, we played Matt County at home, and it was the second time we played them. We've been lucky enough to win 2 close games with them. They've both been very competitive, and we felt like we were playing well, but we knew it was going to be a big test down at Lebanon. I've been here 8 years as an assistant and head coach, and we hadn't won the varsity game down there in that time period. So we got off to a great start. We shot the ball very well in the first quarter. We scored 25 points the first quarter, had an 8-point lead at the end of the quarter, stretched that out one time to 16. And then they slowly chipped away and got back. They actually tied us at one time in the fourth quarter, and then we were able to pull away at the end. And we got great contributions from everyone on our bench. We had kids like Jonathan Warden, Michael Bethune, Sam Wynn step up and play some of the best basketball they've played all year. And that's our 3 seniors.
Yeah.
And anytime you play in conference basketball, they're the kids that have been through it the most, and they have the most experience. So they really stepped up. And of course, Matt McCrary had 21. Derek Stokes was in foul trouble in the first half, and he got 14 in the second half. And Philip Davis gave us a bunch of rebounds and 12 points. And we just got contributions from up and down our lineup, and I felt like that every kid came in, contributed to the game. And anytime you go on the road in the conference and steal one, get you a win on the road, you really have an advantage because it's so tough to win on the road in the Ozark Conference. And then we have to come back here this coming week and defend our conference home floor.
Against Camdenton at the end of this week, home against Camdenton. It's the first conference home game of the season. And then looking ahead into next week, kind of a break from the conference season, you play Neosho again, you go to their place, I believe, in that right?
That's correct.
And then to Chanute. I know you always play in Chanute in the Ralph Miller Classic, so another tournament, so another busy time ahead for you guys.
Right. We will, after we play Friday, we'll have played 7 games in 11 days, and we're going to turn right around and start another streak where we play at the end with the Chanute tournament. We'll play 6 times in about 9 days. So we didn't play much before Christmas because of weather and scheduling conflicts and such, and then we come out and play a whole bunch. It seemed like at one time all we were doing is practicing. Now it seems like it's been forever since I've had to make out a practice schedule.
Right.
So it's been kind of a funny schedule, but we go to Chanute, and we drew Emporia, who's ranked in Kansas right now in Class 5. They're 5th, and that's our first round opponent. So we're going to go down there, and it's going to be a tough ball game right off the bat. It's a really nice tournament. We like going there because it takes us to places to play people we don't normally see. So we will have already played Webb City twice, McDonald County twice, and Neosho twice. So it's nice to get out and play some other people that you're not going to see.
We're going to wrap up this interview with just another question or two here, but 10 games into the season, have you found an identity for this team, or do you know what, talk about this team, what you found out about this team 10 games into the season?
Well, we've already been through some struggles, and now we've come about and we're playing pretty well again. And the one thing I really like about this group of kids is the way they've hung together, even when things weren't going well. And now that things are going well, they're still working hard. They're still trying to get better. They understand it's only 10 games.
Right. And
the biggest part of our schedule is ahead of us. So I'm really proud of the work that they've put in. I'm proud of the effort that they've put in. And I think an identity for this team so far is we've been able to shoot the ball well for the most part. And we're starting to try to find ourselves better on the defensive end of the floor. And I think at the end of the year, when we can put it all together, we're going to be pretty good.
Okay, well, good luck the rest of the way. We'll talk to you down the road here very soon.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tim Spiers, the head basketball coach of Joplin boys basketball team. You're watching Take 10 on joplinglobe.com. Thanks for logging in, and we'll see you next week.